Okay, well, done with another elk hunt for the year. Well, gonna be the only elk hunt for 2023. But lucky to be able to get out on one at least. Not a whole lot of pictures or videos from this hunt, unfortunately. I never even broke out my good camera, just with the weather, and things happened quick when we did get on elk. So, unfortunately, not much to show this year. Anyway, pretty simple. Gonna go in to the same area we've hunted. This would be the 5th year, I think, going to that spot. Every year, somebody different is hunting, which is nice. And this year, I was gonna try to get my mom an elk. She'd never shot a big game animal before. Been on lots of hunts, been around it all her life. Just has never been the one to do the shooting. There was going to be her, my Aunt Dawn was going along again, my brother-in-law Miles, and his dad Pat. They were both going to have a tag, and hopefully it'd be really nice if Pat would have got one, but unfortunately he didn't. But he was going to be hunting, and hopefully he'll be able to go again. Anyway, we went in a different way this year. I wanted to do more of a pack trip, kind of see some different country, see how it would work going in this other way. So we took 2 days going in. We drove up to the trailhead, got, halfway in that first day. After driving up, camped under the stars, just didn't worry about setting up a tent. Luckily the weather was nice the first couple days of the hunt. That morning there, we heard a wolf howl. None of us had a wolf tag. We wanted to shoot our rifles, so we shot at some rocks there at that camp just to see that we could hit something. Packed up, left there, got to camp, our main camp, 3 o'clock or so that afternoon. Got everything set up. Real nice kind of having a spot that you can go to year in and year out. That way you have tent poles and stuff that's kind of there, and you're not starting from scratch. So things go a little quicker getting set up, but had 2 wall tents to set up this year, which wasn't a real big deal. Those go up pretty quick. Got supper cooked and the horses were grazing, and then the next day again, just cutting firewood. And we knew the weather wasn't going to be great, so I wanted to get quite a bit cut. We cut down 1 big tree and then 1 small one. Luckily that was enough. We had quite a bit left over by the end of the hunt, but worked that day cutting up firewood, getting a few more things set up. Pat and Miles went out scouting. I think they kind of figured out where they were going to go for the next day. I already had my plan for where I wanted to take Mom, which would be around on the bench, kind of into the basin. I would like to hunt some new spots, but if you keep having good luck in one spot, I guess why change, But it was a few more down logs. It was a little tougher getting in there this year, but made it in plenty of time. Actually, we were a little early. Ran into elk on the way in. Bull bugled right by us, but we debated on what to do. Do you sit around, or even if we would have waited, I think by the time it got light, they would have been gone anyway, and, spooked out of there. We just kept going around into the spot we wanted to get to, and ran into some more on the way just as it was getting light. Calling to them, and I figured the wind would be really good, wouldn't have a problem, but it was just out of a little different direction than normal or something, and it was just swirling, and I could feel it hitting me in the back every once in a while, and sure enough, eventually they got out of there. Pretty nice bull and a little group of cows. So we sat around while it got light, trying to look for something close by, and nothing was really close. And we could hear a lot of elk on the other side of the basin, just couldn't really see them until it got plenty light out, and then we could see some over there. Heard a gunshot, didn't really know what happened with it. It wasn't Pat or Miles, but saw a couple of different riders up on the ridge, but never saw them with a dead elk or anything. We rode kind of up around the top and got on the other side into where we had seen some elk. I thought they'd, be a little further away by the time we got there, but I cow called and one bugled 200 yards away, maybe less, and he came in, and I was still on the horse when I could see him coming. So got down off the horses, rushed Mom over there. He came right in, I didn't really want her to shoot it. He was kind of a raghorn. She had said before she wanted to shoot a smaller bull. She wanted a tasty one. She didn't want a big old stinky bull, which is fine. But I didn't want to shoot him. Didn't want her to. So got her to pass on him. I called again after he kind of spooked off. Luckily, he kind of went away from the other elk, and then right after I called again, another bull comes running down the hill. And this one looked pretty good. I didn't even look through binoculars, and I could just see antlers coming. So rushed up to a little better spot to get a rest on. Kept calling, and that bull just kept coming straight at us, and he was almost to where Mom couldn't see him. I don't think a tree was kind of in her way, and then luckily he kind of came off to the side a little bit, and she shot, but right as he was moving, hit a stump right in front of him, and so he kind of spun around and didn't really know what was happening. I kind of got frazzled, and I'm trying to tell her to shoot again, get her to where she can see him. She shoots again quick there, and we see hair fly. She shot him real high in the shoulder, and it didn't put him down and wouldn't have killed him, but it slowed him down enough to where he's walking up the hill real slow, and we were able to move up. And again, rushing her, trying to get her to hurry, and get the shot off. And she made a great last shot, dropped him right there, and we went up, got hers cut up, got him packed back to camp later that day, and hung up in the tree. Unfortunately, Pat and Miles didn't really get on much that first morning. Didn't have a whole lot of luck. And then, it started to rain, and didn't really hunt that afternoon a whole lot. And after that, it was snow, rain, fog. Wasn't real good for hunting. We went out one afternoon and cleared a little bit of trail. We were going to go out a different way, so we went and made sure we could kind of get up that a little easier. We kind of tried to bugle and cow call once we got up into some of that country, and nothing really responded. And then the fog came in, and we had to go back to camp, or decided to. And right as we were getting close to camp, it just started snowing, big old flakes, and we were pretty soaked by the time we got back. So after that, it was just sitting in the tents, or playing cards, drying things out. Didn't really hunt the third day that we had, which really only plan on hunting for 3 days. I mean, with the amount of time it takes to go in there and get out and drive over and back and everything, it just doesn't leave a lot of time for hunting. So usually that's enough to get something done, but yeah, it would have been nice to have a couple more days for them, but had to leave. And luckily it was a pretty nice day. The day we left, it was real foggy that morning until we got down a little lower, got out of the snow kind of, and it was really nice and cool, and good day for riding out. Except for the trail. The trail was muddy, just water everywhere in the trail the whole way out, and yeah, just sloppy. Made it out safe, and everybody was pretty tired by the time we got out, and then you got a long drive home, but we all made it home, and that was pretty much the hunt. Pretty simple, just didn't last very long. You always want to do more, and it seems like it goes by way too fast. It's always next year, I guess. So we'll try her again next year.